Morning campers, welcome back to the channel. Right, I've had a lot of comments from viewers complimenting me on the quality and clarity of my in-flight audio, and I've been asked by a few people if I'll make a video to show you how I do it. So in this short video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through all of these bits of equipment that I've got in front of me, show you what it is that I use, where you get it from, how much it costs. Hopefully Mrs. B's not watching, and how it all plugs together. And at the end of the video, I'm going to give you an alternative, slightly cheaper, slightly simpler way of getting the same result. So stick around. Right, so just before I show you all these bits of kit, it's probably worth asking the question, why bother recording audio when you're flying? And the reason I think it's important is because if you've got a camera and you stick it on your aircraft and you record your flying, the end result is great, it's good to watch. However, I personally, if I'm flicking through YouTube and I'm looking at flying videos, I will always choose a video that's got some audio over a video that hasn't, because if you're actually able to listen to what the pilot's saying, listen to radio transmissions, listen to conversation he's having with other pilots, I just think it makes for a more immersive video to watch. And personally, I just think it's a little bit more interesting. Also, if you've already got a camera and you've already got a headset, you're 9/10 of the way there. It is not a great leap to actually go to the point of recording your audio, so it's definitely worth the effort. So I've got various bits of kit in my audio setup, and I guess it probably makes sense to start with the headset, which is a MicroAvionics PM100 headset. And the reason that I'm going to start with that is because that's the central hub, if you like. It's the thing that everything connects to. So before I do that, I guess I should probably start by telling you a little bit about MicroAvionics. MicroAvionics are a UK-based company, and they are a supplier of helmets, intercoms, headsets and accessories and all sorts of things, and they cater specifically for the lighter end of the aviation market, if you like, so microlights, paramotors and things like that. The chap in charge, Eddie Cartwright, is a pilot himself, so MicroAvionics products really are products made by pilots for pilots. This isn't an advert by any stretch of the imagination. I'm not sponsored in any way by MicroAvionics, but I have used their products over a number of years and I've never been disappointed. So I'll put a link to their website, and if you're interested in any of their kit, then go and have a look at the website and go and see what they've got on offer. So the PM100 headset, what's that all about? Well, it's a headset that's used a lot by paramotorists and microlight pilots, particularly the ssdr and the sub-70 microlight pilots, and it's specifically designed for that purpose. The headset itself, you can either buy the headset with the band, so you can use it with a loose helmet, or you can actually integrate it into part of the helmet, which is what I've done here. Just to show you some of the features, I'm not sure if you'll be able to see this on the camera, but essentially it has a PTT switch on this cup, and it's obviously got a boom microphone. This is the Bluetooth version. You can get it with Bluetooth and without Bluetooth. I'll talk a little bit more about Bluetooth in a minute. You can tell this is the Bluetooth version because it's got the blue band on the boom there. On the other side, on the other head cup, you've got a volume switch, so you can turn the volume up and down. The power switch is on the inside, and the clever thing about this headset is, as well as the wire that goes to your radio, it's also got another connection block. I'll take some pictures of this and probably show you a bit more clearer. But this wire here, you can connect another cable, and this can do all sorts of things. You can connect it to a PTT switch. You can have a lead here so that you can connect this helmet to another helmet, so if you fly with a passenger. You can connect this to a radio source, so you can listen to music. If you haven't got the Bluetooth version and you want to listen to some music, you can connect a wire to your phone or whatever. And the other thing that this enables you to do, which is what I do, is it enables you to send a signal out from here into a GoPro so that you can record your audio, which is how I do it. The PM100 headset has a built-in microphone, which is on this boom extension here, and it's worth mentioning that MicroAvionics also sell a separate windsock that can go over this foam mic protector. What I have found when using this headset is if you turn your head to the side, you can get quite a bit of wind noise. However, I think it was Giles Fowler that came up with the idea of the windsock, and he's developed that with MicroAvionics. I'll put a link on their website to the windsock that you can get. I think they're about £9. I haven't got one yet, but I am going to get one. In terms of cost, these headsets are they're not cheap, if I'm honest, but you get what you pay for in this hobby. So the Bluetooth version at the moment is currently retailing for £415, and if you go for the option without the Bluetooth at the moment, they are retailing for £349. Okay, the main reason that I fly with a helmet, obviously one, it's a safety feature, and the reason that I got the headset is because it then enables me to connect to a radio, so that I can make radio transmissions whilst I'm flying. The radio that I use is a Yaesu, I can't pronounce this, I've never been able to say it, I've no idea, Yaesu, Yaesu, no idea how you pronounce it, but this is a Yaesu FTA 250, which I also bought from MicroAvionics. They're listed on their website, and not massively expensive. I think these are about £195, so it's one of the cheaper radios that you can get, but I have had no problems whatsoever using this, and I've been able to make radio transmissions without any issue. When you are buying your headset from MicroAvionics, you must let them know what type of radio you intend to use. The connection between the headset and the radio is via a wire, so obviously you need to make sure that whatever wires you've got from your helmet are compatible with your radio. And when I bought my Yaesu radio, it came with this attachment here, which just simply plugs in to there. And then that gives me two connectors. So there's two jack plugs here, one slightly larger than the other, so they just connect like that. And that is my headset now connected to my radio. And then if I want to make a transmission, I'll just simply press the button on the cup here, and that's how I make a transmission. Incidentally, you can buy a separate wire, which I have got. I'll put a picture of it on the screen, which connects to the second output from the headset, and you can have a PTT switch on a wire that you can connect to your control bar. I have got one. I've never used it, but the flexibility is there. You can use that if you want to. One of the very clever things about the PM100 headset is that it is massively configurable. Inside one of the head cups there are a series of dip switches which you can switch up and down to do all sorts of different types of things. Now, I'm not going to get all technical, and I don't want to start talking about settings and stuff like that. I want to try and keep this video fairly simple if I can. But one of the features that you are able to switch on with these dip switches is a feature called Sidetone. And what that means, if you've got Sidetone on, anything that you say into the microphone, you will hear through the ear cups, which is a lot easier because it means that you don't find yourself shouting down the microphone. And one of the other features that you can set up is using the socket on the back of the head cup. You can then send an audio signal, so anything that you would hear through the headphones, you can send that out as an audio signal to a recording device, which is how I record my audio. So having been able to generate an audio signal from my microphone and send it out from the headset, what do I record the audio on? Well, I use GoPro cameras on my aircraft. I normally have at least two GoPros on the aircraft, one on the wing and then one on the control bar. And GoPro cameras, I've got two GoPro Hero 9 cameras is what I use. Absolutely brilliant cameras. I'm not sure how much these are at the moment. I don't actually think you can buy the GoPro 9 anymore. I think the current iteration is the 12. I'm not sure how much they are. I'll put it on the screen. GoPro cameras are great. The downside with the GoPro camera is, although they have their own inbuilt microphones, if you try to use those when you're flying, all you'd hear is wind noise and engine noise. And these cameras do not have a socket that you can attach an external mic to. So in order to get around that problem, what I use is something called a GoPro Media Mod, which is one of these devices here. Essentially how this works is you open it up, you put your GoPro camera inside it, and then on the back of the Media Mod, there is a socket that you can plug a 3.5mm jack from an external microphone into. And then once you've done that, the camera will record audio from an external mic. So that is how I get around the issue of not being able to plug one of these straight into the camera. So having shown you how my voice audio signal is generated from the helmet, and I've showed you on what device it's actually recorded on the camera, the next question is, how do I get the signal from the headset to the camera? And the solution to that is again provided by MicroAvionics. If you go on their website, you will see an item listed as an auxiliary music audio lead, which is this thing here. Essentially it's got this type of connector which connects onto the head cup. The other end is the 3.5mm jack which connects into your Media Mod. When you order this item, you need to specify with MicroAvionics what purpose you're going to use this wire for. The reason being, there are two very, very similar wires that do opposite things. The one that's listed on their website, which is MP004, as it's listed, if you just bought that, it wouldn't work. The reason being that that lead is designed to pick up a signal from something, a music source, for example, a mobile phone, and send that signal down the wire to the head cup. Well, I want to use this wire for the other way around. I need to pick up the signal from the head cup and send it to a recording device. So if you specify that when you order the cable, they will make sure that it's made up in the right way. Essentially, there's a connection here that needs to be reversed depending on what you're using it for. Make sure you tell them what you're using it for so that they send you the right wire. So that's my basic audio setup. With that setup as it is, you can hear anything that I'm saying whilst I'm flying. You can also hear incoming and outgoing radio transmissions.
Western Park flight line to visiting aircraft. Pass message, please.
Golf Charlie Lima Papa Alpha, just turning final to land. Western Park.
Western Park flight line, clear to land at your discretion. Wind is calm.
Landing Golf Charlie Lima Papa Alpha. Oh, we're down.
Western Park flight line to peabee if you want to taxi up to the top and park on the left hand side. I'll come up and meet you in a minute.
Wilco, Golf Charlie Lima Papa Alpha. And I hope you'll agree that being able to hear that radio interaction just makes the videos a little bit more immersive and a little bit more interesting. But as I said though, I've opted for the Bluetooth version, and the benefit of the Bluetooth version is, as well as hearing in-flight audio and radio transmissions, you'll also hear other things such as SkyEcho alerts. And also, I'm able to make and receive phone calls, which again, when you're flying, specifically if you are flying with somebody else and flying with friends, it's a great way of being able to speak to each other without tying up the airwaves. Mr. Fowler?
Have you broken your 100 hours yet?
Oh yes, that's long since gone.
Congratulations on breaking 100 hours, buddy.
Thank you, mate. Here's to the next 100. Yeah, I'll see you back on the ground, mate.
See you back at Blighty.
Roger. Whilst I'm on the topic of radio transmissions, I said earlier on that this setup has been completely reliable, and it has. It's never let me down. One thing I have had an issue with in the past, and that is interference, specifically interference from the engine. Which has made it quite difficult sometimes to hear radio transmissions. The sort of engines that I fly, small two-stroke engines, are notoriously noisy, and I don't just mean in terms of the normal noise that they make, I mean in terms of the amount of electromagnetic interference that they chuck out. That can be an issue. It's a bit of a hit and miss thing. Sometimes some engines don't cause a problem, some engines do, and it's, to a certain extent, it's a little bit of pot luck. If you do have an issue with radio interference from your engines, I'll put a link to a video up there that was done by Giles Fowler, which shows you some of the things that you can do to try and eliminate that if you have that as a problem. So go and have a look at that. Okay, so at the start of this video I said that at the end I was going to give you an alternative method for recording audio when you're flying. It might be that you haven't got a PM100 headset, or you haven't got a headset at all and you just wear a helmet for flying. It might be that you don't use radio and you don't need any of the Bluetooth stuff. And it might just be that you've just got a camera that you record your flying and you just want to record some audio over the top of it. So how do you go about doing that on the cheap? Well, quite simple really. What you need to do is get yourself a lav mic or a lavalier mic, or a lapel mic, I think they're sometimes called as well. These things are not expensive at all. You can get these sort of things on eBay for as cheap as, not eBay, Amazon. You probably can get them on eBay, but you can get them on Amazon for £10, that sort of thing. So these are not expensive items at all. And then you've got two options. You can either connect the end of this, if you've got a camera that is within reach that has a 3.5mm jack, then you can plug that straight in. Or if you're using a GoPro with a media mod, you can plug that straight into your media mod. One thing that is important, and that is to make sure that the type of 3.5mm jack plug on the end of your mic is compatible with whatever device it is that you're plugging it into. These jack plugs, there are different types, and again, I'm not going to start getting technical, but there are mics with different numbers of rings on them. So you can get, you might see things like TRS, TRRS, that stands for tip ring sleeve, tip ring sleeve and all that sort of stuff. I'm not going to go into detail, but you need to make sure that the 3.5mm from your mic, whether it's TRS, TRRS or whatever it is compatible with your camera. For example, the GoPro accepts or wants a TRS jack to be plugged into it. This is a TRRS, and so if I plug this mic as it is into my GoPro camera, it wouldn't work. However, you can buy adapters, which is what I've bought. So this adapter here, again, I'll put a link on the screen, is a TRRS to TRS adapter. So if I was to plug that into there and then plug that into the GoPro, this mic will now work with it. So just make sure that your microphone is compatible with your camera is the bottom line. Incidentally, this solution of using a cheap lav mic is how I have recorded audio whilst I've been out riding my motorbike. I don't do a lot of motorbike content on YouTube. I might do in the future, I don't know. But when I have done, I've used one of these microphones in my helmet to record my audio and then connected this straight to my GoPro camera. Last year I did a video where I climbed up to 3,000 feet and then turned my engine off. And at the start of that video I did the intro on my motorbike just for something different. A bit of a different start to this video. The more observant amongst you will have noticed that I'm not sat in an aeroplane. I'm actually sat on my second most favourite form of transport, which is my 2023 Honda CB500X motorcycle. And I had one of these basically sewn inside of the helmet, connected to the GoPro, which was mounted on the chin strap. So it does work, it works really well. The audio quality I think was pretty good. So there you go, there's another way of doing it. So the next question arises is what happens if your camera is right on the end of your wing and you don't fancy plugging a wire from your microphone all the way out to your camera, and that's not possible. Another way of doing it, which is equally as successful, you can plug this into a separate sound recording device. And again, sound recording devices don't have to be expensive. You can buy these on Amazon for as little as £30. What it does mean though is you will then have two separate files to work with when you come to put these when you come to do your video editing. So you'll have a video file and you will have a sound file from two separate devices, and what you'll need to do is you'll need to sync those up. That is why at the start of a lot of videos you will see people doing things like this, which does look a bit stupid and quite often will result in people taking the mick out of you.
Oh, here we go. I'm getting very bombed. Here, little. Hello. All right, my name's. See what I have to put up with.
But what you do then is once you've done that, you will have a video file which shows you clapping 3 times, and you will have a sound file in which you will hear 3 claps, and then it's just basically a matter of linking those two up together, and then your sound file will be in sync with your video file. So that's another way of doing things, which is a little bit cheaper. Right, that's enough techno babble for 1 week. Hope you found that useful. If I've missed anything and you've still got questions, then please put them in the comments below and I will do my best to answer them. If you've enjoyed the video, give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, then click on this handsome fellow up here. I'm getting ever so close to that 1,000 subscriber figure, and I'm really keen to get there. And finally, if you are interested in how to attach cameras to a microlight or a flexwing aircraft, then this video over here might be of some help.